What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, and at long last, we are back to China. Today, we are going to VOD review a game from Chen, one of the best players in China for a long time. He's currently ranked 4 on the Chinese ladder. I believe we just got a random or a normal item anvil as our galaxy. I translated them. There are a few other ones, but yeah, this is just random item anvil as our galaxy this game. But yeah, I want to do some Chinese VOD reviews, see what China is doing in set 10, maybe differently from NA, same as NA, because, you know, China did very well at the last World Championship. I said a little bit, I mean, surely we buy this Lilia, huh? We're not going to buy the Lilia? Interesting here. I mean, these units are so good, but I don't really care for the Seraphine and the Nami that much. Yeah, I really just care for the Kennen here. I would certainly buy this every time, I think. KDA, Lilia, once we already have the Evelyn, yeah, I feel like this must be picked up here. Item slams are a bit interesting here. Okay, and then also stats. The stats say Silver Spoon is very strong. I think Best Friend's another decent augment. I like Partial Ascension a decent bit, but I think the stats say that it's just Silver Spoon. I'm curious to see what Chen goes for here. I would probably just default to taking this, especially with such a strong early game with these 2-star units. You can push level 5 really quickly. Cutting Corners also looks amazing in the stats. Cutting Corners very strong in a meta where you want to be pushing fast 8, fast 9. So yeah, I think Cutting Corners is definitely the take here. We just get the insta level up here, and we're going to play just, this is our board. Yeah, we definitely want to hold on to the Seraphine. I don't know if she's necessarily stronger yet. Probably not. Probably has to be Crown Guard here for, actually, I mean, you probably itemize Crown Guard. Lilia, you could even go double Crown Guard, but I don't know about that. But I mean, you do want to itemize your chosen unit. It could be Crown Guard Ave, though. And then item slam-wise, what are you making in this situation? I don't love Gargoyle, but I don't completely hate it. I want to be more open to Gargoyle because I was looking at the stats and it didn't look as bad as I thought it was. Other option is something like Ionic Spark. You could go like Crown Guard, Ionic Spark on Evelyn and just have her kind of go off. You could also go Crown Guard, Crown Guard. I kind of like something like Crown Guard Spark here. Just put it on Lilia. Curious to see what we go for. Situation. I guess you also have some other options you could take here. I feel like Crown Guard's... Ooh, IE? Okay, yeah, it's got to be Crown Guard. And then, let's see, is he going to go Crown Guard double? I mean, you should slam something here, right? This is actually a pretty close fight. You could theoretically lose this fight if you slam nothing. And yeah, he is going to slam nothing. I'm pretty sure this was an item slam diff, right? Look how low every unit is. Wow. I mean, maybe he thinks it's better to greed these items and find something more like BIS. Or maybe he's just trying to figure out what to slam here in the spot, because it is a big decision. MF here immediately, obviously a really strong unit in the meta, but our items don't really lead to it that well. I think he's looking around and saying like, okay, who is, is there anyone playing MF? But I don't really see how we can play MF from this spot. But yeah, I feel like either a Gargoyle or Ionic Spark onto the Lilia here would have won us that last fight. But all good. We will see some more really cool gameplay. At the end of the day, he decided that he wanted to greed, and he's going to win this fight anyway. But yeah, I don't really prioritize holding the MF that highly. I mean, you can hold it here, of course, for free, but I think like later on, probably this MF is getting sold for econ. Does he want to hold all this stuff? I would probably... I mean, you can just level here, right? Or you're going to level up to 5 next round naturally anyway, so I would probably look at making 10. But yeah, he's just going to level up here for the very cheap price of only 4 gold here and not make any gold. Just go 5 here, which it just allows you to spike your word this round as opposed to next round. Looks like we didn't really need to level to win this fight anyway, but at the end of the day, he also wants to hold on to the Seraphine for potential 5 KDA. So yeah. Item-wise here, I'm still not exactly sure what he was what he is thinking from an items standpoint here. He's going to go for belts here for potentially like Sunfire Ionic. I like the Sunfire Ionic slam. And, maybe the idea behind not slamming there, he wasn't sure if it was going to swing the fight. Ooh, Echo is a very nice inclusion on a lot of these boards. Definitely something that I would want to look at here. And he does have Super Fan here, so we can just get the Adaptone in for the Lilia, and then, yeah, the Echo is just going to stay on bench for now. He can either get Echo in here and get True Damage Sentinel, or he can just keep Crowd Diver in here. I think I do like the Crowd Diver here, actually. Just because you already have enough frontline in this setup. I would also be interested in just Ionic Slam again. Like I said, oh, you buy the Echo over the MF. Oh, wow, he buys it over... He sold Katarina pair there. Wow, he's really leaning towards potentially this idea of Misfortune. And yeah, now he's actually looking at potentially selling this Katarina to make income, though he's probably not going to sell anything. It looks like he's really leaning towards MF from this position. Yeah, my only hesitancy towards playing MF from here, and MF is very broken, so I would like to play her if possible, is just the fact that we don't really have items for it. We don't have a single glove. This rod can be Gwinsu, which is like okay on her. It's like pretty solid. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. This is gonna be a 2 loss here, which is not that bad. It's just we're a little bit broke. There's the cannon too, which is really nice, and there is Karthus. Interesting. Definitely could, especially these AP items, lean a bit more into this Karthus. Maybe play something like Karthus Akali or like Karthus Viego. I like Karthus Akali better, but Karthus Viego isn't awful if you have, good Viego items. Oh, and a Mordekaiser. Lulu doesn't really mean anything. I would probably end up selling this Bard here and buying Karthus. Wow, he sells the Mord and buys Karthus, but you need Mord for your Karthus board. What the heck? Okay. Items-wise here, we're still sort of just inundated with these tank items, which is a little bit annoying because we want to be able to itemize this Karthus, especially because of the fact that we have Superfan here. It's a bit annoying that like we have to play for like we can't slam another offensive item, like we can't really make, or defensive item, we can't really make Ionic Spark here because we have our Superfan item, which is a bit weird and annoying, but it's okay. We don't really want red buff here, so yeah, I don't think we want really any of these. He's looking at teaming up. Wow, the component and some 3 costs. I hate this augment. But he's just using it to try to sort of like bail his components out here. And he ends up with this bow, which I don't think really does much for him here. I mean, I would have taken Pandora's items even over this, and then just use the Pandora's items to make good Karthus items, but he likes teaming up here. It's basically like a much worse Pandora's, but you get gold up front, or maybe some kind of 3 cost, like maybe he was thinking he could find like a misfortune there. Like if you get misfortune from the teaming up there, then that gives you really, really good direction to play MF. I guess is the idea, which I guess makes sense. I don't know. I haven't been evaluating this augment very high at all, but he actually likes it a good bit there. He's still not putting, like he didn't put any gold into leveling at 3-3. He knows, or at 3-2, he knows that he's just going to play for loss streak here, which I think is pretty reasonable. I assume this round that you would level though, because it's basically free. But he just wants the optionality of holding everything, and he is going to make the Titan's Resolve here out of this bow. Wow. Means we're probably never playing Misfortune, right? Because that Titans is not going to have a good home. In which case, like, why are we holding these MFs? Is he actually just holding them to deny people? Because if so, that's kind of hilarious. I mean, I guess we're going to level up next round either way, so it's fine. Glove here for JG I like a lot. Just finish a solid item for Karthus, which I have to assume is what we're playing for, either Karthus Akali or Karthus Viego. JG plus Titans. Titans will go on the Akali or Viego. JG will go on Karthus. We already have Naruto, which is really nice. Only downside is we lost our Mordekaiser when we sold him earlier, which doesn't feel amazing, but it's okay. We're still very, very rich from our augment. You could just go 7 here. Looks like he's not interested in going 7 here, but yeah, you could go 7 and make 40 gold here. I think he realized there, like he was trying to figure out his board, but I think like he was sort of like hovering his econ, yeah, and he pre-levels it here. I'm pretty sure we should have just gone 7. I mean, he does want to play for loss streak here, but he ends up winning this fight anyway. So, yeah, can't play for loss streak regardless. Yeah, I assume we'll just level up here. We're just going fast 8 with the power of the cutting corners. You know, we don't really need anything. It's an econ augment, right? It gives you 4 gold essentially every single level up. So we can use this to push really, really quick fast 8 at 4-2. And then I assume roll down for like a Karthus or an Akali chosen, even like a Mordekaiser chosen is not bad, and just play for that. So yeah, I would say very solid game plan. I wasn't 100% sure about some of his like leveling decisions, like that last one. And ooh, Ezreal and a TF. This could be another option. The only problem is then our Titan still doesn't have a great home. But there is like an Ezreal TF comp that I played before, and it's not the worst. I don't like open selling Lilia here because we are going to just sit on this comp for one more round at 4-1. Items wise, it's a little difficult. Also, he finds a Jhin here, which is pretty cool. It's a little difficult. Like Declaw could be a frontline item. And like the JG makes sense, but then what else? Like Gwinsu is terrible, Last Whisper is terrible. I mean, you could go double JG and hold the bow, I guess. You could hold this for like Hodge, and this for a better item. You do maybe just slam Declaw JG, and then hold these 3 components and look for something like, even like a red buff, I think is actually not that bad on someone like Karthus. If you think you're gonna die, you could make the double JG, which is like, I mean, it's pretty bad, right? But it's slightly better nowadays because they will both, well, one of them will give you crit chance, I believe. You're just gonna slam the bow there. Doesn't slam the decoy yet, but I assume that's coming in next round because we're pivoting our board next round. We can still keep in Superfan, because I mean it fits pretty well. We are always playing the Gnar, but yeah, you might even have to slam double JG here. Item wise here, our augment wise, I think this thing Unified is pretty solid though. The second I see this, I'm probably taking this. Akali and Karthus are gonna be our last units alive a lot of the time, so I think Gifts of the Fallen is really solid. I think it is just a bit better than Unified, but curious to see what he takes here. Roll Unified. Lotus, I don't think is better than Gifts here. Yeah, we just take Gifts from the Fallen. We're gonna level up here. Buys the TF, I think, really smart here. Finds a Mordekaiser. Yeah, but he doesn't want to settle for the Mordekaiser. He even sees Ahri and doesn't want to settle for the Ahri. Wow. And he finds Karthus. This is really interesting stuff because I think so much of when I've been thinking about this set is about, you know, like this playing flexible kind of idea, just like not greeting for super BIS on everyone. And he does make the double JG because he wants to do as much damage as possible with this Karthus. And hey, you know, it's not bad at all. The only downside is we got that Archangel. That's our super fan item, right? Because we didn't have an Archangel, I believe. But yeah, and I mean he has 5 Karthuses now. Yeah, it is our super fan item. He's just gonna actually keep rolling here because he needs Mordekaiser too to truly be stable. He does also get Nico in, which is a huge upgrade. And so I think that's gonna be enough for him. Yeah, he's just gonna sit on the Nico here. I would still probably he has a 3-cost duplicator. Okay, so we can just duplicate the Mordekaiser. Okay, now his board looks really strong. But yeah, that line between greeting for your headliner and not greeting, I think is really tight. Like in this spot, if he doesn't hit Karthus, what does he do? I think he was doing a really good job of scouting the lobby constantly, trying to figure out who was playing what. Are we really taking Spat here? Oh my god. Speaking of greed, we want Spat in this situation? Okay. I mean, I guess we'll see. But yeah, like greeting here, actually, I feel like, I mean, it worked out very well for him, but you can obviously sort of like see a world where it like doesn't work out that well on the other hand. But he thinks, you know, like in this spot, I'm pretty sure what he was doing is he was scouting very aggressively and saw that there were like very few, if any, Karthuses out of the pool. You see he's got 5 now. So surely there's like no one else playing Karthus, and so he kind of knew that he hit. I think, okay, after seeing this game, I think knowing when to greed is really important, because I think I've been sort of on a journey of saying like, okay, I hit that Ahri, I can play around the Ahri, I can play around whatever. But Karthus is obviously like the strongest option in this spot. With no mana gen item, like Ahri would definitely feel a lot worse. You know, double JG plus death cap with the superfan item Ahri would feel awful. So him greeting in this spot, I think, did him a lot of favors, but you just have to be careful about it. This person actually had a Karthus too. I don't know if they had this at that point or if they just got that. Because if they had Karthus too, I'm very uncomfortable with that greed. But I don't know. Still really interesting stuff. Knowing when to greed your chosen, like how to sell, you know, when to say, okay, this is good enough and stop, or, you know, when to say like, okay, I need to keep going for something better. You can play Viego over the Kale. He's going to be slightly less tanky actually in the Kale because he's 1-star, but he is going to give that bonus damage amp. So, I mean, I do think he's a better unit than the Kale, but we'll see. He's also really trying to look for that Chain Vest here, and he does actually end up getting it for the Spat, which I have to assume is going to go on Akali. Actually rolling really deep here to look for Akali too, which I think, I mean, I definitely think you need to roll deep here and find some upgrades, but yeah, he does not want to stop at any point here. Guard Breaker over Last Whisper. Yeah, I think solid. Ooh. Well, we don't have, we don't have true damage in, so you don't want to true damage the guy because it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I like these items. I mean, it's always KDA Spat, and then it's between Guard Breaker and LW. And Guard Breaker is actually a decent Akali item. He actually ends up fighting another person who's playing his exact same board, so just showing off how strong this board is. And yeah, he is going to donkey roll here and just look for his upgrade here. Ooh. That is not a bad unit. I have to assume that you can get that in. Yeah, he's just going to play that over 4 Supervan. Did he? Oh, no, he didn't cut an R. What did he cut there? It's too hard to go back. I really want to go back and see what he cut there because I did not see. Oh, he cut a non-Pentakill unit to get Pentakill in. Okay. But what was it? What did he cut here to get Pentakill in? It's the unit in the bottom left. Let me see. Wait, he cut the Viego. Oh, he already had 7 Pentakill. I'm an idiot. Okay. Yeah, he just cut the Viego for this guy, which I think, yeah, makes sense. Though I probably would have ended up cutting Kale. I guess he thinks, I mean, Kale is MR Shred, which is crucial here because he has no MR Shred. So actually the Kale 2 is better than the Viego. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right. We still really would like Akali 2. We can't really be stable on 8 without Akali 2 on this amount of HP. If you had a lot more HP, then like maybe you could think. of being stable. Also, my god. Honestly, 20k damage is double JG Karthus just Gigabyss? Like, this double JG Karthus is actually just farming people. I think there's one person who's also playing Akali. I don't know if there's a second one, but I'm pretty sure that person had Akali too. So it's only 3 Akalis out of the pool. I think it's reasonable to do what he's doing here and roll for this Akali 2, because Akali 2 spikes his ward so hard. And he's not very healthy, right? 31 HP, you can easily see yourself going bot 4 this game if you can't find Akali 2. But man, this Karthus build, just the double JG plus the Archangels is actually just doing work, one-shotting every... I gotta try out this build, man. I mean, I know he probably doesn't think double JG is like Gigabyss, but I mean, maybe it is. Items here is actually pretty awkward. You could go for something like does he have healing reduction? Because you could... No, yeah, he does. He has the Sunfire, so you don't really want the Morellos. You could go for the Spark to sort of guarantee it. He's just going to go for Yorick item here and go for the Steadfast Heart. And yeah, he's going to actually remake the... But the item should still go on Mordekaiser, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, you remake the Mordekaiser. This is smart stuff. Move the Steadfast Heart over, and then he's just going to move the Sunfire over to the Yorick, who can be on second row, so he's not going to die immediately, but he's still going to apply the Sunfire. I love this. This is perfect stuff, because yeah, like you would prefer to just have the tank items on the Mordekaiser, and you see the Mordekaiser tanks the entire fight for Yorick, and then Yorick still applies the Sunfire the entire fight. So very smart stuff. Goes up to 10 gold, finally level 8. It's probably a top 4 at this point. Oh, he's thinking about... I mean, you wouldn't make that swap, but maybe he's thinking about potentially level 9, but you'd need another... I mean, he's still holding on to this guy in case we get a pentakill spat, right? If we get a pentakill spat, then we can look to potentially play for 10 penta, but that would have to be stage 6 carousel, so a bit unlikely. Here's the other player who's playing around this setup. We end up beating them. They are down an augment with the Tiny Titans, though. I guess we're also down an augment in cutting corners, and kind of in the second one teaming up, because that just gave us a component that is not a silver augment by any means at this point in the game. So yeah, they're also headliner Akali versus this headliner Karthus, which you know, and their items are obviously different. But yeah, he's actually gonna sell there. At that point, he thinks, okay, you know, like my chance of hitting is not that high. Gunblade for the Yorick. Ooh, remover to put Gunblade on Akali, and then he's gonna Titans the Yorick and Guardbreaker up there. Gonna Titans the Akali and Guardbreaker Kale. Whoach. Okay. I mean, I don't think Kale's doing like any damage here, but he does think like getting a healing item to Akali is a higher priority, which I could certainly see. Yeah, I could certainly see it. And this Guardbreaker I don't think is doing a ton. I probably would have just landed on York for the stats, because I don't think Kale's really doing anything. But maybe, I mean, Kale definitely applies it better than York does, because he's just going to hit one target, whereas Kale is going to get that AoE on the end of her ult. So slightly better. And then if he had 2 removers, he could maybe move the Guardbreaker over to Karthus, which I don't know if... Because I don't think Guardbreaker is very good on Karthus, like in its effect, but in like the stats it gives, I don't think it's bad. This is actually a big loss, though. Are we dead? 13 HP? Yeah, that's delayed damage. We go down to 1 here. We can level up here, just for a second Yorick at this point. Not too much to be added here. He gets Kennen in, actually, for get the 4 Superfan back in, which is not bad. The Omnivamp onto Karthus is actually, I think, really valuable, and the HP for someone who is so important. That we do get hit by the Akali, but look at that Omnivamp value. It just heals him back up, and then another one heals him back up to half. He lives another Akali ult. That was a 4 Superfan diff. What a level, and what a find there to get the cannon in at the last second to swing that fight. Another Yorick item here. I would think he would just go for like a Titans. He's gonna go for Vow, and he almost FF'd the game because he didn't get what he wanted there. I don't even know what that was. There wasn't a pentakill spat on Carousel, right? I didn't think so. Finds another Yorick. Oh no, he found Chosen Yorick, but he doesn't have it yet. He can unmake this Kale. The problem is then you're not gonna have the Kale on the board. He's 1 gold short, right, of unmaking the Kale and buying the Yorick, because it's only 5 gold. So yeah, he's 1 gold short, sadly. So he has to lock this Yorick. But it looks like he's gonna win this fight versus the TF player. Yeah, the Karthus, I think, maybe one-shot the TF with the KDA Akali. Man, this board is so insane, just with the ability to just one-shot backliner. He's actually, yeah, and now we're gonna move the Guardbreaker over to the Yorick, because we're 3 item Yorick at this point. Throw the bow onto Gnar. Okay, I mean, sure, why not? Bonar is not bad at all. We're fighting this board. Ooh, what is this? Moves the Karthus up there. What is this positioning? The frontline Karthus versus this guy. I don't know what that is. Is it because there was an Akali player in our pool as well? Because that guy was certainly not Akali. I don't know what that was. I mean, Sona hits the units closest to her, but that's still, like, Karthus is closer over there. And then TF hits the 3 closest units as well, but I would still assume you want Karthus where he had him before. I don't know what that... Maybe someone can tell me in the comments if I missed something there. But I don't know what that positioning was for, but I mean, it looked sick, but I don't really understand why he would do that. Rolling here at this point, I'm not sure for what. Kale 2, I guess, just because we're 1 HP. Any upgrade helps, and we do actually hit the Kale 2, so nice job there. We're fighting the Karthus Akali player. Of course, we don't have our Karthus in the corner. We have him back here, though I don't know if this... Wow, really, really smart backline. The Gnar, even though Gnar is a melee, like, he is going to jump to the front line, putting him in the backline there actually manages to save us for a second, but we're so low. Oh my god, the Akali actually popped off. Oh, that must be a Gunblade Akali diff, I feel like. I feel like that Akali there with the Gunblade actually did so much for us. So he's holding on to this Alawi pair. If you hit Alawi 2, what are you doing in this position? Like, are you considering cutting the Kale and dropping down to 5 Penta? But then what other Penta are you cutting? Like, you don't want to cut Gnar, you'll lose Mosher. You're obviously not cutting Karthus. Like, you're not cutting your Spat, you're not cutting the Yorick. So I feel like you're always kind of stuck playing 7. And wow, look at... This board is actually stomping this board with a Sona 2 on it. That's actually so insane. I mean, it just goes to show how strong this board is and how much it is dominated. Because we're going to fight this board one more time. It's just low damage, right? They're all around, they're completely playing around this damage Sona, but the damage Sona doesn't actually have any damage items on her. So all of their damage is coming from this Gwinsu Shojin Sona and like a little bit of damage on this Ziggs. But yeah, I feel like the board's just too low damage. Sona's going to cast again here. Just isn't able to kill everything. One more cast from the Sona though. Oh, but Karthus gets her at the last second. So it's going to be the dub for Achen. Oh, what an intense game. Oh my god. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thank you.